Hello, it's Tom here for Signal Sounds, and today I'm looking at Smear, the debut module from Smoothie Audio. It's a dual 98-pole all-pass filter, and it's capable of some pretty mind-bending spectral effects. It's great for transforming drums into crazy futuristic beats. You can use it as an unconventional filter as part of a synth voice. And you can ping it and modulate it to create a unique resonating percussion voice. If you like the sound of all that, I'll take you through the patches in a minute. First, let's take a closer look at Smear's front panel. Smear is an all-pass filter, that is a filter that lets all frequencies pass through it, unlike the much more common low-pass, high-pass or band-pass filters. You might wonder what the point of an all-pass filter is if it doesn't cut any frequencies. The answer is that it changes the phase of different frequency components of the signal, effectively delaying them slightly in time. All-pass filters are more commonly used within digital reverbs, phaser effects, or as building blocks in more conventional filter designs, and it's quite rare to find them standalone like this. With a single pole, the effect of all-pass filtering is very subtle, but when you stack up to 98 of them, which is what Smear offers, and start introducing feedback and resonance, you can create some very dramatic effects, from transient shaping to physical modelling style percussion. Smear is a 12 HP stereo module with the inputs top left and outputs top right. By default, the signal will pass through two separate 98-pole all-pass filters in series, but this button toggles a split mode which lets you process two mono signals independently. The left input goes to the left side only, and the right input goes to the right side only. The big knobs are for frequency, and the outside sliders are for resonance. These both have CV inputs with attenuverters. The inner sliders control the number of poles, and the middle pot is a global feedback control which affects both sides. These also have CV inputs, but without attenuators. And that's really all there is to it control-wise, so let's just crack on and hear how it sounds. Okay, for this first patch I'm going to explore some of the more extreme settings of Smear when using it as an effects processor for drums. I've got the System 80, 880, 808 clone drum machine here, which is coming in. I've split off the kick drum and all the rest of the sounds, and I'm going to feed everything except the kick drum through Smear. I've got it in split mode, so we're just going to listen to one side of it first of all, just so we can hear what's going on. Just going to the left input and out of the left output. And this is the dry drum machine pattern without anything from Smear as yet. So I've just got the kick drum and the rest of it on the first two channels of the mixer. And if I bring in Smear, this is with two poles, minimum resonance, frequency in the middle, no feedback. We get this kind of phasing effect straight away as it starts to shift some of the frequencies. And when that's mixed with the original dry sound, we get the kind of classic phaser sort of sound. If I bring up the feedback a bit, you can hear that kind of, especially listen to the hi-hats, that kind of phasing effect. Bring the feedback up, it's quite pronounced. Maybe increase the resonance a bit too. It's got quite a nice kind of, fairly conventional kind of phaser effect. Where things get a bit more fun, so if we increase the number of poles, let's bring it up to about halfway, around 50. With the feedback up, and playing with the resonance and cutoff, we get this kind of interesting kind of resonator sort of sounds. It's like kind of physical modelling. Going to mute the dry drums, so this is just the pure Smear output. So with these kind of high feedback settings, okay, this very strange kind of Auteca-ish sound world. loads of fun. So when you start using smear in the context of a synth patch, things can get quite interesting quite quickly. It can obviously do your kind of more traditional phase shifting kind of effects, but because you've got 98 poles to play with and you've got 2 filters that you can run in series, you can get into some pretty extreme, weird filtering, quite unpredictable territory quite quickly. Let's have a listen to a raw saw wave that I've kind of dialed up on Generate 3 from Analog over here. That's the green trace on data, and it sounds like this. Just your classic buzzy kind of saw. And this is the blue trace on data. This is running through a single channel of smear. I've got it in split mode. So basically all we're getting at the moment is a inverted and slightly phase shifted version of that input. If I sweep the frequency, you see the shape changes, the timbral change is very subtle, barely noticeable really. I should say I've got resonance at 0 and I've got poles just set to 2. Bottom of the fader, no feedback. If I mix it again with the original, we'll start getting phase cancellation effects. And if I increase the resonance a bit, and increase the number of poles a bit, nice kind of phasery palette. Let's bring the poles right up to 98, bring the resonance up. Let's take out the raw original signal. So now we're just listening to the saw processed by smear. And let's bring up the feedback. And at these kind of high frequency ranges, much more extreme, flangier edge of phasing. Let's bring in a pitch sequence. And let's try slowly sweeping that frequency with another flow. And let's hit an envelope. So we've got this kind of quite aggressive bandpass filtery kind of tone, which varies a lot as we play with the resonance and the feedback. These kind of slightly woodier, and then in sort of formanty kind of territory. Let's mix in a traditional low-pass filtered version of that saw wave. So I've got this, just a copy of that saw running through Analog's filter 8. And let's just hit that with the same envelope, just so we are. And let's mix in smear again. And let's give the smear layer a bit of delay. It gives us quite a nice kind of way of designing slightly more characterful subtractive synth voice. Let's turn off split mode and run it through 2 all-pass filters in series. Let's take another LFO to modulate the pitch of the second one as well, the frequency rather. Just going to mute the low-pass filtered version too. So yeah, as you can hear, it's a very unusual filter. The sound design possibilities are pretty vast. So finally, one of my favourite things to do with Smear is use it as a kind of weird percussion voice by feeding in triggers to the input, just like a stream of pulses, and then turning up the feedback and playing with the resonance and the frequency, and you get all manner of kind of interesting, very artificial, synthetic sounding kind of percussive noises. Let's fire in some triggers from Pam's into the left side. I've got it in split mode, and we'll just listen to the left side to start with. So this is with the feedback right down. Just little clicks basically coming in. Let's bring up the feedback to about 3 o'clock. And as I sweep through the frequency like this, we get some quite an interesting range of timbres already. Let's feed in a couple of looping, stepped random patterns from Pam's to modulate the 3 inputs on the left side. So let's fire something into the pitch. And let's fire something else into the resonance. Let's fire something else into the number of poles. And by playing with the sort of starting position of these 3 settings, we can... That's pretty cool. And let's play with the feedback as well. Add a little splash of plate reverb from the MFX here. So that's quite an interesting kind of percussive loop. Let's have a listen to the other side. So I've got a kind of sparser trigger pattern coming in here to the input, and I'm just modulating the pitch to kind of switch between 2 different notes. And that's it really. So this is almost like a little chordy stab, kind of a weird little thing that can be a bit like a bass line or a kind of melodic part for this little loop. Again with a bit of reverb. We can play with the starting position. Let's keep it down like this. And let's bring in some more conventional drums underneath. Got the patching panda, blast and hats, and the snare from Squid Sample just in this little skiff that you can half see. Just a really interesting source of unusual percussive sort of noises that you don't really get anywhere else. It's quite hard to predict what these controls will do, but just by playing around. So hopefully that's given you a bit of a flavour of what Smear can do. I'm really only scratching the surface in this video, and I'm sure there are lots of ways to use it that I haven't thought of yet. Smear is available at Signal Sounds now. There's a link in the video description. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a like and a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.